Now get ready for WTF.
You want to prove once for all that I'm better than you? Strap up.
Bring it on, Big Brother 10, man.
Whose take is first? Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Turn it up! Here we go! Woo! Come on now. Well, WTF, I thought. Let's do it. We do it each and every morning, at least for now. Could be on the back burner as soon as the end of next week.
A lot of people have taken maybe a little exception to WTF. That's kind of vulgar, but it just simply stands for We're Talking Football. I don't see the problem. I know a lot of people's minds tend to wander under that stuff. But
yeah.
You know who said WTF last night is that kid, that Buccaneers player that Logan Cook rocked.
Yeah, he jumps up and shows off some sort of.
I'm getting some feedback that Googans would indeed pay for our off the mic show.
Yeah,
so
99 cents a month.
I mean, you've right undersold. We're not doing it for 99 cents a month.
Well, we are if we get 100,000 people.
Well, we're not getting 100,000 people.
We're not?
No. Do you know how much money a year that would be if we were able to corral that? About $500,000 apiece.
All right. Well, that's not bad.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Why don't we try that?
A little more than $500,000 apiece.
Get back to me on that and see. Let me know how that goes. I'd like to do it.
Now, when you say a piece, does that just mean the two of you?
Yes, my man.
You'll get paid hourly.
My man's business plan has us amassing 100,000 subscribers at 99 cents a pop.
Listen, you were the one who, you and Baselli were the ones who told me we could do anything and let's have a whiteout. We'll fill the stadium.
How many years do you go to that one?
35,000 people.
How many?
For the Arizona game, and all we got was Ox Gator and his son.
Can I get
in a T-shirt?
Can I get the date of this Arizona Jacksonville game he references? I mean,
Kurt Warner completed 17 passes in a row. I know
that. Was that in the 90s when that game was? I mean, for the love of Pete, man.
That's just the numbers thing.
You're like a grandpa on the dadgum porch already. Stop it. All right. Beef, what do you got? Can you contribute something here to make us somewhat entertaining?
I got an opportunity for the Googans to weigh in on the text line and 641-1010, and we'll take a random winner, get some free airport parking from usapark.net. That being said, now that the preseason is in the books, we can look back, and now we look ahead. I mean, now that these 4 games are behind us, has your outlook changed in any way as we head into the regular season? Has anything either raised an eyebrow or you feel even more confident than you did?
I feel about the same, which is interesting because last year I think we went from feeling like okay to feeling awful, right? By the end of the preseason, there was not a lot of joy in Jagland.
We may have done a bit where we had a live Jaguar eat Marquise Lee.
Open the Cage. We did a bit called Open the Cage. In fact, we had a song ready to debut last year at this time.
About just how hopeless it is.
About how hopeless it is that that was squashed. It didn't make it through
vetting.
I heard it this week.
And law and everything else. So
I'm glad it didn't air.
It didn't air, and it was harsh. It was harsh. Some of those songs don't make it, and this one particular one didn't make it. But that's how down in the dumps I think that everybody was about our Jaguars. And then lo and behold, they went to Houston. There was a hurricane, and next thing you know, we're 1-0. Now we battled at that 500 level for a while before we started stacking those wins, but it just goes to show you how meaningless the preseason can be. So don't read too much into it, but certainly have confidence that this is a very good football team.
Yeah, meaningless or probably misleading would be a better term for last year's preseason, because we had no idea how good the defense was because they were playing 3 series and leaving. But when we got to see that defense in action for full games, game after game, they were just, suffocatingly dominant. So, I was on my way to feeling even better about the Jags than I did when the preseason started because of how composed and I thought effective Blake Bortles was throughout the entire offseason program and the first couple of preseason games. But, a couple of games, preseason games 2 and 3, where he was, more the old Blake of a 70 passer rating, gave me a little bit of pause. But all it really did was knock me back to where I was when things started. So this is a really good team with a dominant defense that, if it stays healthy, will be enough for them to be a playoff team. And that I feel really confident about that. And that's not based so much on just like blind faith in the home team. It's based on the fact that if you look at these statistically dominant defenses that are 1 or 2 in the league, they've got a shelf life. They don't, whopping offenses can flare up and flare down. I mean, we've seen the Falcons do it, and the Saints have done it. There have been others, but those defenses, those dominant defenses seem to survive and stay meaningful longer. So nothing has changed to do that. It was a very, very fortunate preseason from the injury standpoint, other than Marquise Lee. And I believe my opinion is that receiver position, there's not a whole lot of difference between number 1 and number 5. So even though that's terrible for Marquise Lee and you'd rather have him than not, I don't think that takes the train off the tracks.
Right. I understand. Couple of college notes before we go to break. I happened to catch the very end of the Wake-Tulane overtime tilt last night.
Who won that game?
Wake in OT.
Was that at Tulane or at Wake?
I think it was at Tulane. It looked like it was at Tulane.
Tulane.
But anyway, I texted Riley at the end of the game. He was frustrated because he thinks they should have walloped him. I said, man, it's a win towards a bowl game. What are you talking about? Take your W. You started a true freshman quarterback, and they were able to win in overtime. They went down the field and scored the winning touchdown. And the kid, the freshman receiver from Purdue, is electric.
Yeah, like 200-something yards.
I think Northwestern won that game.
That guy's the best coach in college football.
And
wasting away at Northwestern.
And very quietly, I'll just say this. Jimbo Fisher, listen, it was a throwaway game, but in these throwaway games, A&M wins these games normally 40-21, okay? They destroyed the team that they played last night. And now they set up for Clemson and Alabama in 2 of the next 3 weeks.
Good luck with that, Jimbo.
So
yeah.
Have fun. But I'm looking at a picture of Jimbo after the game singing with his son next to him in his A&M gear. Son doesn't look particularly happy, though. I'm thinking that's probably the kid who, was so upset when he had to leave Tallahassee. So anyway, it was college football is back. We got a big weekend coming up, so that'll be fun.
It jumped out at me. Did you tell me? I can remember. Northwestern they've got the all-time record for consecutive losses, 34.
Yes.
I know things are generational, and gosh, our parents watched Army win national titles. I mean, I get it that things change, but I can't help but sit and think about, when I was a kid, I'm not sure Northwestern and Wake Forest weren't 2 of the worst teams in college football.
Yeah.
And here they are, perennial bowl teams.
I told you, too, I saw this video of Northwestern's new athletic sports complex that they opened on the one of the lakes this year on the campus. It's beautiful. It's outstanding. So, and I've told you for years, I like that coach a lot. I think he's a good guy and a really good guy and a really good dude. He's the kind of dude you like your kid to play for. All
right. Well, I have a Friday Degenerate special all queued up. You gave them you gave them a game to sink their money into last night. I've got one that I have pegged for tonight, and then the rest of the Friday 5-pack, it debuts. It's money-making time, gang.
9 W's will be handed to you when you come back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But this one is going to cost you $2 each.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So just drop by the station if you're going to listen to the Friday 5-pack and hand off your $2.
And I'm also looking forward to you guys having a nice sampling of D's Nuts a little bit later. They were nice enough to bring us in a whole case of them.
I can't wait to put these nuts into my mouth and taste them.
I'll pick out a perfect flavor.
I'm already
for you.
salivating.
Yeah. Well, you guys will enjoy those. I'm telling you, you really will.